Hello, my name is Lance Calvert, and welcome to this episode of the Retail Fix It podcast. Retail Fix It is a nationwide facility management company. We do repairs anywhere in the country in every single trade, but not just repairs. We do projects, rollouts, remodels. We do HVAC PMs, cleaning PMs, other kind of scheduled maintenance things. But if you have 100 or 500 or 5,000 or more, or whatever locations, we bring all that under one roof, centralize your repairs, and organize, streamline all of that. And it brings order, cost management, and streamlining for your facility managers, for their regional guys, for the location level people. A lot of times customers are like, how's the cost? And it's like, we are your first line of defense on cost. We defend all of that. So it's like an actual facility department partner outsourced through Retail Fix It. So thank you for tuning into this one again. We're having a lot of fun with the podcast. We want to create community in nationwide facility maintenance and be a resource of relevant data, for everybody to glean from, and for customers to be able to listen to, potential customers and service providers to be able to listen to and gain data, information. And we want to pioneer a new revolutionary type of future and breathe fresh wind and air into retail. There's just a lot of really cool things that's in store for this industry, for its innovation, for its approach, for its perception. That's a big thing. The perception between the service technicians in the field and these clients of ours who own, lots of service locations, and those relationships and how each side perceives each other. So we're really excited about today's episode. We're going to bring you right in the kitchen of a discovery call with a potential customer. So I do those calls. My client retention manager, Scully, is on those calls with me, and we do, potential sales calls. So we get inquiries on our website for potential new customers. Somebody who has a lot of facilities, they may be using a company like ours, or this may be their first time exploring to use a company like ours where they can outsource their maintenance to one single source for all their repairs across all their locations to get these things handled. And so we want to bring you into as if you're on one of those calls. So I hope we get potential customers listening in, because a lot of your questions that you're going to have in a call like that are going to be talked about in this episode, and you're going to probably get the answers as we would answer them, before you even have that call with us. So that's what we're going to do. Let's get right into it. And we're going to just go right for the jugular here, and we're going to talk about cost. So that's not usually the first question that a potential, a sales call or potential customer asks us, but it's a really cool topic. It's an important topic. And so they ask us, like, what does the cost look like? They don't typically ask me, is it going to be cheaper, with you, or is it going to be more expensive with you? I'm sure they're wondering that, but they typically don't ask it that way. They just ask, what is the cost look like? They'll say, is there a subscription fee or other costs? And the answer is, no, there's not a subscription fee. We don't have a startup fee. We don't have a subscription fee for the portal, because we have a customer portal where you can log in and enter your tickets and everything. So how do we charge? So we charge hourly rates. We have 4 billable categories, and that's just within the jobs themselves. So again, there's no overarching subscription fee, no monthly fee, no startup fee. When the contracts are all put together and we've traded all that data and everything, and we get started with our customers, they pay for the job that's performed, but we constrain ourselves for the quality control of the customer to 4 billable categories. So they get charged for travel. We constrain ourselves to 1 flat rate travel charge. So we can't put 3 trip charges on there. The next category is labor. So it's hourly rate. So we charge an hourly rate, depending on the trade and coverage area, for the amount of hours used for that job. So there's a control there. Materials used. That's the 3rd billable category, is the materials that are used. And sometimes equipment kind of falls into that category. So if we rent a big piece of equipment or something, that kind of hits into that third category. But then there's an administrative markup. It's 10% if the customer has centralized your maintenance with us or their maintenance with us. In other words, have you agreed to almost all of your trades and all of your locations to go under one roof with Retail Fix It? We centralize all of your maintenance. If you agree to that, you can get a 10% administrative markup. The customer gets one invoice per job with those 4 billable categories broken down in their invoice, and our customers are enjoying that redundancy. They know how to look at them. They know that they don't get some swimmy left hook kind of charges or something. We can't just create charge categories and that kind of thing. And our service provider technician partners, they are constrained to those same billable categories. So it's all completely controlled. And that's one of the cost strategies that we have, is that from thousands of vendors that we have, we've got them all living under that same cost controlled strategy and restraint. So it's legible. We get the data of what was performed in those categories and the breakdowns of them, and we're able to deliver those in a broad scale to our customers. Big question that we hear from customers during these discovery calls. So number 2, how long is it going to take to get a tech on site? So when we're doing these discovery calls with customers, they're wondering, like, what's the turnaround time? What's the response time? And I get a lot of that question, I think, when it's a customer that already is using one of our competitors and they're not getting the response time. I mean, most of them all ask it, but I think that question spawns from an existing relationship they have where there's a delinquency or a lag time that maybe they're not satisfied with. But our answer to that question, again, how long is it going to take to get the tech on site from the time you place the service request? The answer is, we have a service level agreement that we send to you guys that is a promise of that answer. And for a standard non-emergency service request, we have a goal of same week of 36 hours. So we have a goal of 36 hours and a guarantee of same week. For emergencies, we have a goal of 2 to 4 hour response time and a guarantee of same day. So if you put in a critical emergency, our goal is 2 to 4 hours, guarantees same day that will be on site. So now emergencies, time and a half, right? So the labor cost that it is for that trade, that's another question we hear almost on every single sales call. So we'll get into the third one. The third question, communication. Can we talk directly to your technicians? So our customers on these discoveries calls, they have a lot of control on what they're currently doing. And they're wondering, if I outsource this to a nationwide facility maintenance company and I don't know who the tech is on site, or how do I convey a reschedule to them, when my location might be telling me, well, that current schedule date needs to change, or the materials haven't arrived on site yet. And they wonder, how do we keep connected if you're a gap in the middle? Well, we don't mess up by being in the middle and by having a control on our techs. First of all, we allow our customers to connect directly with our service provider vendors upon request. I mean, we don't give them the database. You don't need it. And most of the time, we need to stay in the middle, because if there's a reschedule or any information, that gets recorded in our system and we're managing that for you. So we don't want you guys jumping over to our service provider and you guys making pertinent data that needs to go in and be managed. So we try to stay in the middle as much as possible, but there's no black curtain where you can't talk to the tech. So we provide that information for, nuance, certain projects and stuff where there's security people that need the tech's phone number and name for him to sign in, and whatever reason they can have it, but it's just upon request. The next question on customer discovery calls is, how do we place a ticket and what's next? This is a really cool one. So we have a proprietary system our customers absolutely love. When I'm in a sales call, I try to keep the presentation of our customer portal on the second call, because we just kind of are discovering each other. But sometimes the customers on the first call will ask about it, and they're saying, hey, can we kind of get a sneak peek of that? And if they ask me to, obviously on the first call, I jump in there and share the screen and show them the portal. But again, I try to keep that on the second call if it's not requested. That way they can decide, and feel each other out. And then when they get on that second call with us, they might have some counterparts or something that can also look at it. But nonetheless, how do we place a ticket? So you log into a portal and you can put a ticket in our system in like literally under 45 seconds. The place to find it is right there. Anybody can use it. Super simple. That was our goal, was simplicity. You can attach a file, supporting document, and it just asks you the right questions. All your locations are already entered. So you just drop down and choose your location that's already in there, your service location, and then you put what's needed, attach a file if you want to, and then hit submit. From then on, we tell our customers it's popcorn or Coke from there, because you don't have to log into the portal to see your status. You certainly can, but what happens next? So when you place that ticket in the customer portal, next, you receive an email immediately of that ticket you just created. Step one. Within a couple hours or 4 hours or by the end of the day or maybe the next morning, the second experience you're going to have is you're going to get an email. You, meaning you or whoever you want in your company, you or anybody, a location level person, a regional person, or a corporate level person, we call that a global user, will receive the second email related to that job you just created. And that email is the ETA, date, set, and time. So that means that job that you put in has been dispatched, a tech that we chose, accepted, and set the ETA for it of when they're going to be at the service location. And that's your second email. You receive the date and time of their site visit, what that's scheduled for. And so does your location if you want, or however you want that to work. And again, these are emails that come to you proactively, or whoever you may want to proactively, or we can turn those off to where they don't come to your team. You can also log into the portal anytime and look at this data. So there's a comparison slide view in each job of the state of the job right on the front page of the dashboard. Creating a new request is right on the front page when you log in, and all your open tickets. There's no going to find them. They're right there. And there's in a comparison view of each other with the status of the job. Now, if they check out estimating, in other words, they can't do the job on that first visit, then they'll receive an email of estimating. You'll receive a checked out estimating, and then you'll receive an estimate. And there's really, really cool interactive buttons in the estimate email where you can view it and accept it, or you can even request a change or something like that. It's gone through our estimating department. It's been audited, and we may have gotten 2 or 3 estimates until we liked it, before it gets to you. But the next question of, these is customer discovery calls. Am I going to have a single point of contact to find my answers? When these customers are considering a company like Retail Fix It, they're like, how do I follow up? How do I know what's going on with my locations? Am I going to be like put into a queue of a call center? When I call, am I going to get a live person that I know? Absolutely, yes. Retail Fix It is a small group of local people. We all work from home now since COVID, but we all live in the same community. I mean, not that we have to, but there's an account manager that's dedicated to your account. And our account managers, they get to know you as customers. They get to know your location people as customers, and they care about that. And it's a very intimate thing. So you'll know exactly who to call, and they'll be reaching out to you with inquiries, and your team will be reaching out to them, and everybody kind of creates relationship around here. So our customers are people that know us, and we know them. And yes, you'll have a dedicated account manager, and that person has a support team and has an assistant when they're on vacation or lunch or something like that too. But another big question, can you guys work with our system? So some of our potential customers have their own proprietary system, or they've got systems they've got to work with, and we have a system. So yes, we can absolutely receive a service request from you guys in a different way from you putting in our portal. Of course, we would prefer you put the job in the portal, but we do have customers that can't do that currently. We're working with some of those customers to create APIs, and we are API capable, so we can create our system to talk to your system. And so there's not double work, but we'll handle it either way. You guys can email tickets to us and we can put them in for you. So we have teams for that. But if you do put the jobs in our portal, you'll love the portal. You'll love the reporting in it. All of our customers do. When they see the portal, they usually want the contract and want to give this thing a shot is when I show it to them. Monthly calls. Now, customers don't typically ask that, but I thought I would bring that up because it's really helped us in client retention and clients understanding. So not only does your team and you get to know our teams very well, but on a monthly basis, we have a scheduled monthly touch point call with you. So from a high level, we want to hear from you. We want to audit ourselves in that call. We want to hear how we're doing, success, failure, how can we improve, where are we excelling? And then that cycles through. A month comes quick on these, on these calls. So are you guys strong in a certain coverage area? That's a question I get almost every single time. And I'm almost surprised every time. But the answer is we're strong across the entire country. We started this business in 2000. We've been in Canada. We haven't been in Mexico or Puerto Rico, but we are coast to coast in the United States. We've done some stuff in Canada with some customers, no problem. Still have great partnerships there. But no, we're not specifically strong in only some areas. We have some customers with hundreds of locations in rural areas and major metropolitan areas. And so we've had to really gain strength in those tough areas too. And so it's our job to get it done. We know that, and we don't even have a real problem doing that timely. Those are several of the customer discovery call questions that we commonly get from customers. And so I hope I've answered some of those clearly for you guys, and you can kind of get an idea of what it's like during a discovery call. Of course, we want to hear from you and do that discovery call with you, but maybe these are some encouraging elements where you can feel like, that's possible to have a partner that can really do this thing for you. But listen, thank you guys so much for tuning in. We absolutely love our audience. We love the idea of creating community in this industry and just reaching people in facility maintenance. We love our service providers and our technicians all across the country, and we do episodes related to them too. And we wanted to hear from you guys also. So whether you're a facility manager or a CEO to a major corporation, if you have hundreds or dozens of facilities across the United States and you need to bring all that under one roof and have somebody be in charge of that for you and all the repairs and controlling cost for you and controlling quality and streamlining all that for you, retailfixit.com is our website. But listen, like and subscribe and share this episode or like this podcast and tune in. We do these twice a month. We're having a good time with it. But we love you guys. God bless you. Thank you very much again, all of you supporters who are listening. We've got a lot of people that aren't even in facility maintenance that listen, and so that's such a blessing to me to hear that. Thank you guys. God bless you, and we'll see you next time on the Retail Fix It podcast.